Hello and welcome to NewsClick. Today we are going to discuss the possibility of a Greek default and the consequent crisis that may arise out of it. We have with us Professor Jayati Ghosh, Professor of Economics in JNU. Jayati, do you think there is a real chance of a Greek default arising out of the fact that they seem to be running out of money? At least that's what the newspapers are seeming to say.
Yes, that's certainly true. It's very much present there. The question is really whether the Europeans are willing to countenance a default and therefore potentially an exit. And the extent to which they will go to actually ensure that Greece does not do anything that would contravene the rules of the Union.
So we have two possibilities. One is that both sides sort of back down and work out something which at least in the interim let them stay in the Union. Other possibilities, unintended default and unintended exit, which both sides may not want. Do you think that because both sides seem to be sticking to their guns, at least as of now, that there is a possibility of an unintended exit?
Well, in fact, they haven't really stuck to their guns. Syriza has made a number of very major compromises. I would say the European Union also has made a few compromises, not that many as Syriza has. So nobody has really stuck to their guns yet. The problem is really that in a sense, you see, Syriza is stuck in this bind where the Greek population has made it very clear it does not want to exit the euro, despite all the austerity, despite all of that. They don't want the austerity, they don't want the conditions, they want a restructuring of the debt, but without exiting the euro. The Greeks have therefore made a pitch for a slight relaxation. It's not even a very big relaxation of the terms and conditions, something that would allow for a slight reduction of the austerity. So at the moment, they have to supply a primary surplus of 4.5% of GDP, which is ridiculous. They've said, please allow us to maintain a primary surplus of only 1.5% of GDP. Now, when you think of it, they're still running a surplus. They are still doing austerity, but slightly less than before. That's all they're really asking for at this point. What is surprising is the extent to which the Europeans have refused to budge. When I say Europeans, it's really Germany. And in a sense, President Merkel Chancellor Merkel is affected by German public opinion on this one. And that is affected by the fact that nobody wants Greece to be seen to be getting away with it. And this is true of the Spanish, who don't want Syriza to actually succeed because that would give more clout and heft to Podemos. That is true of various other countries that actually don't want to see that there is a potential of a reduction of austerity.
It also is part of the domestic policies, as you said about Spain, that if they give in to Greece, and it also puts into question their own austerity program.
Absolutely, that's why they have been among the toughest in opposing any kind of reduction.
You know, the Greece argument, which has been an ongoing one, Tsipras has given it and also various others, that essentially this was not a bailing out of Greece, but this was really bailing out the German banks. Now, what do you think of this as an argument?
That's absolutely true. That's well known. I mean, it's the German, the Austrian, the Dutch and the other core European countries' banks. But that is true of all bailouts. Whenever you have debt crises and you have a bailout, it is usually the banks who have lent who are bailed out, and that's known. All the IMF bailouts, all of the US bailouts of Mexico, etc., they're all that. So this is nothing new. Something like 85% of the money that Greece has gone so far has actually gone to repay the banks. But that is the nature of the hold that finance capital has. It's the idea that if you do not repay, you cannot access fresh funds. Now, essentially what has been required for a very long time is a debt restructuring, what they call a haircut. And even the IMF has said that this is necessary. Increasingly, many more commentators are calling for this, even in Germany. Not the right-wing commentators, but others, for example, those representing Die Linke and others. But the strength of that opposition is quite remarkable because in Germany, the same government that would actually bail out domestic banks and would actually restructure domestic debt is fiercely resistant to restructuring the Greek debt.
Do you think there is any possibility of, for instance, what they had raised earlier, the Greeks had raised reparations for occupation and so on, but that seems to have gone into the back burner completely?
Well, you know, I mean, even if they get this money, it doesn't solve the medium-term problem. It will go a little bit towards allowing a slightly lower primary deficit. That's about it. So it's not going to make a huge and fundamental difference.
So the hard choice for Syriza is whether they accept a slightly diluted form of austerity, as you were saying, or prepare the Greek public that they have to leave the euro?
No, at the moment they are being forced to accept the extreme version of austerity. That's the surprise to all of us, is that we assumed, since Syriza has given in so much, that there would be some more movement on the part of the Germans and those who are in charge of the European Union. That really hasn't happened. There has been an attempt to actually grind them down. And I believe the reason for that is political. It's to prevent similar such movements from arising elsewhere in Europe.
Breaking the working class movements, the demands of the working class in different
The broader
countries.
popular movement.
Broader popular movements. Last question. Is there a possibility of a dual currency? Is that a reasonable possibility for Greece to try?
Certainly it is there in many minds of Greek official policymakers today, that you have a different form of payment, at least locally. That if you want to do, let's say, an employment program, then you pay for it with IOUs issued by the local provincial government or some municipality, and which can only be paid for locally and which will be redeemed locally. The question is whether the EU will allow it. And I would have thought they could have got away with it earlier. At the moment, given the hardness of the position taken by the European Union, I don't think they will allow even that.
So essentially right now the Greeks have caught themselves in this bind that the European Union decides how much they can access from the financial markets, what their banks can do, what kind of capital controls exist. In fact, it's a one-way capital controls. No money coming to Greece, but Greece money can go out. But there really is no flexibility for them to play within the economy?
At the moment, no. There was some talk when Tsipras went to Russia that perhaps he was going to seek Russian aid. And in fact, many people have asked why the Chinese don't pitch in with an emergency loan. A bit like Japan did with the Miyazawa initiative to the Southeast Asian countries that were affected after that crisis in 1998. I think these can all still happen, but at the moment, it's really a very tense situation in which I would say the cards are really stacked against the Syriza government at the moment.
So you seem to think that more or less Greece will have to compromise more and more.
You see, there is this fundamental contradiction. You have to have a credible threat when you're bargaining. And if everybody knows that your public doesn't want you to exit, then you don't have a credible threat. And I think that is affecting the bargaining position of Syriza.
But no, Syriza itself is very unwilling to exit. Even their Varoufakis is given the argument, if we leave, it will lead to the rise of the right.
That's right, yes, and many people do believe that that's a serious threat. Within Syriza, there are, of course, different groups. There's a radical faction that prefers to leave, and there are different groups. But the Greek public, that's the most critical thing. The Greek public is very clear. All the opinion polls suggest that 85%, 90% of them do not want to leave the Eurozone.
That's also because Tsipras is not building that opinion, or Syriza is not building that public opinion either. They're in fact building the other side, that we really can't leave.
You know, I believe that it's very complicated in Europe. I have talked to many Europeans who argue that the European Union has many faults, but it keeps away dictatorship and fascism. I was recently in Turkey, and I have heard Turkish people say the only reason we wanted to join the European Union is to prevent the rise of a popular fascist regime, which some of them think they are heading towards, may already have, or a military dictatorship. I think the European history is a complex one, and this prevalence of military dictatorship is recent enough in their memory for them to see that this is a serious concern.
And Greece has had it in the 70s, the colonel's coup and so on. Thank you very much, Jayati. I think this is something which is going to go on for quite some time. We'll come back to you with more discussions on the Greece and what's happening to austerity in Europe. Thank you very much.